guys, it's Kim. Hope you're having a good day. We're going to make some boho beads today, or fabric beads, whichever one you'd like to call them. And this is what we're making. Let me make sure I'm in frame here. Okay. This is what we're going to make. Aren't they pretty? They're so pretty. I'm going to use mine on junk journals. Well, that's no telling what I'll use them on. Who knows? They're so pretty. So I'm going to show you how to make these today. You won't believe how easy it is. All you need is some glue, some 24 gauge wire, beaded wire, a pokey tool, a toothpick, or a skewer. Anything that you can roll beads with. You're going to need a pair of scissors, a pair of round nose pliers, and a pair of wire cutters. And you're going to need some strips of fabric. Now, these pieces of fabric I ripped. I just made a snip in the material and then just ripped it. I like the rough, ragged edges. And it doesn't matter how thick it is. Well, you don't want it to be thicker than your bead. But anything in between is fine. The size, the thickness of it really doesn't matter. You're going to need some paper. And use paper that you don't like or that you've got scraps of. So here we go. We're going to make a 1.5 inch strip. Of paper. We're going to take our little pokey tool or skewer or toothpick or whatever we have, and we're going to roll this bead up. I'm sure a lot of you know how to make paper beads. They've been on the internet forever. Just roll it up, keeping it straight. I love anything boho. I love boho clothes. That Bohemian Bazaar paper that Graphic 45 came out with. Oh, I love that. Okay, when you get to the end, you're going to put a little bit of glue right here on the end and roll it up. Now, I like these square, what I call square beads, where they're the same thickness from one end to the other, and you use a square piece of paper versus a bead that looks like this, where it's narrow on each end and fat in the middle. And the reason I don't like these is because the wire and stuff wants to slide off the narrow end, and it doesn't so much these. And I do like the 1.5 inch size, but you can make any size you want. You can make them bigger, you can make them smaller. You can make them any size you want. The color of your paper does not matter because you're going to be covering it up. Okay, once you get your bead made, you're going to take some material, and I don't know how much it takes, maybe 6 inches or so. And we're just going to cover this bead. You can do one wrap. I do two. I go down one side, and then I turn and go back down the other way again. When I get to the end, I put a little bit of glue. Wrap it up. Hold it there for a minute and let the glue take hold of that material. Cut the scrap off. That's probably a big enough piece to do another bead with. Okay, now you're going to take your wire, and you're going to need about a 20-inch piece of wire. That's what I've been using. You're going to put your bead on here. Then you're going to take another bead, a glass bead or a acrylic bead, whatever. Anything other than a seed bead. You don't want anything that small. And I'm going to put a bead on there just like that. Now, I'm going to do a wire wrap. And I don't know how to explain to you how to do a wire wrap. There's lots of tutorials out there on YouTube how to do a wire wrap. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to bend it over, wrap my wire around those pliers, and then I'm going to start wrapping it around and around the wire underneath. Just like that. Now, we've got this. I'm going to go to the other side, and I'm going to put a bead on this end. Same bead. Now, you can do this any way you want to. You can put 2 beads on here. You can put 3 beads on here. You can put no beads on here if you want to. Well, yeah, I think you have to put a bead on there because I don't think this loop here is big enough to keep it from sliding through, so you have to put a bead on there. Okay, so we've got our bead on this end. We're going to wire wrap this end. Okay, now that I've got this end wire wrapped, you want to go around underneath. Take this wire and go underneath, wrap it around this bead on the underneath of it. And it's kind of tricky because the bead wants to roll on you. But you can get it. Okay, I've got mine around there. Now I'm going to start putting my seed beads on. And I'm going to put about 3 on at a time. You can put on as many as you like. I do 3 at a time. When I'm not dropping them. And then I wrap. Hold the beads against the fabric bead and wrap. Add 3 more beads. Between my eyesight, this is the hardest part, is just stringing on these little seed beads. Hold that against the bead and wrap. 3 more on. And wrap again. And you just keep doing that. You just keep adding your beads and wrapping all the way down to the other end of the bead, of the cloth bead. For those of you who are wondering about my dog story, I did not get my dog. And for those of you who don't know, I was trying to get a Labradoodle or a Golden Doodle. Well, the puppies died. And I was pretty upset about it. I was really disappointed. And so I decided to let her keep my deposit money and I would wait on the next litter. Well, the next litter come along and those puppies died too. So I've been working with this breeder for about 4 months now, trying to get a dog. Okay, I'm back down here to the other end, so I'm going to wrap this wire around underneath this big bead on the end. I'm going to wrap it around about twice. Now I'm going to start working my way back down here to this end again, putting 3 beads on at a time and just wrapping my way down. But anyway, this breeder, I've been working with her for about 4 or 5 months, 6 months. Been a long time. And I don't have a puppy yet. So I think I'm going to ask her for my money back and see about getting a dog from someone else. Maybe somebody's got a litter that's ready to go. So I've waited a long time. I'm an impatient person, and I've been very patient so far. If you make these beads, share a picture with me on Twitter. I would love to see what you make and how you make your beads. And you can use any color bead too. You don't have to use the color I'm using. I'm using red ones. But you use any color you want, any fabric color you want. Be your own designer. That's the fun thing about this, is you can design your own beads to look any way you want them to. Okay, I'm back down here to the end. I'm going to wrap it around that big bead about once, twice. I've got too much wire this time. Sometimes I've got too much wire left over and sometimes I don't. So it just depends on how many times you wrap around this bead, I guess. So I'm going to cut this off at about 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to take this and I'm just going to make a curlicue with it and lay it up against the bead. Not doing very well. I hope I'm in the frame. And then just lay it down just like that. And there we have our wire wrapped bead. It's that easy. You can do it. It's that easy. This one has eyelash trim on it. I did it the same way. The only difference is I took, after I wrapped my material around the bead, the paper bead, I wrapped around some eyelash trim and then I wire wrapped it. And then I gave it a little haircut because I thought, whoops, can't get that off. Because I thought these were just a little bit too long, so I gave it just a little bit of a haircut. And there you have one with eyelash trim, and I love this one. This is my favorite one. I like the texture and the fabric and everything. So I hope you'll give it a try. Like I said, send me a picture on Twitter at Kim's Crafty Table and show me what you do. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.